Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Wednesday, December the 7th, the year's 2022. Let's talk trading. Trading routine, part 4. As always, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. Now, we've gone over different aspects of the trading routine, and there's another one. Actually, there's a few more aspects to it. If you look at popular publications, magazines, and books, there's been a lot written about morning routines. Morning routines of the Stoics, morning routines of the Zen Buddhists, morning routines of the super rich, blah, 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 right? But here's the thing. You have to come up with your own routine. Now, I'm not saying you have to start from scratch. You could pick something, say, from somebody else's routine, but if you try just to do their routine, chances are it's not going to work for you because you're not them and they're not you. It gets back to trading. The turtle traders proved it. You can give the same system, the same rules to, what is it, 10 or 20 different traders, and some will do better than others. There's going to be variations. Why is that? Well, it's because of the person part, the you part, the human factor. That's just the way it is. There's no other way to put it, actually. So when you look and read about somebody else's routine, you can try it and see what parts of it works for you, but don't beat yourself up if you don't, change, or your results don't change because of using somebody else's routine. When we look at trading, I talk about the three-legged stool. You've got the system or method. You've got your money management, risk management that really should be separate from the system because, for example, if that system tells you to place your stop here, you better have your money and risk management in place so you don't have too big of a position size. Because if one method's saying, you take a 5 pip stop and another one you take a 50 pip stop, well, guess what? You better not be trading the same lot size, or in that 50 pip stop hits, you're going to be, pretty damaged, if not wiped out. So just keep that in mind. And the third thing is your psychology, your brain, everything about you. So you really have to keep that in mind. And then the other aspect I want to touch on a little bit today is trading is a lot like weightlifting. There's some proper form, okay? And when you start out, you're going to start out with light weights and you're going to work on your form. And then after you get your form down, then you can start increasing the weight. Same thing with trading. You start out maybe trading, a dime a pip. And then after you get your form down, then you can move up to, 50 cents a pip, $1 a pip, $10 a pip, $100 a pip, and so on. So those are two things to really keep in mind about this. And a third thing is, or actually part of the second thing, trading's a lot like weightlifting. You're not going to see results immediately. It might take 6 months, and then one day when you step out of the shower and you're toweling off and you look in the mirror, you go, holy heck, what the heck happened? And all of a sudden you start to see some muscles. You start to see you're chiseled. You're getting buff. And the other thing, about weights, and physical exercise and training, you can train all you want, but training can't beat a bad diet. So it's kind of the same thing in trading. You can, if there's something bad about you, then the best system in the world's not going to help. The best money management in the world's not going to help. If there's something inherent in you that you haven't mastered, that you haven't overcome, that you can't resolve, you're you're not going to be very successful. And remember, success isn't necessarily going to be seen immediately. I mean, you could trade, maybe it takes you, 3 to 6 months to become profitable, or 3 to 6 years. But if you hang with it and you've been smart about at least your money management, you haven't blown your account out too many times, then maybe, just maybe, you'll see some success. So keep those thoughts in mind and let me know what you guys think about it. And when I say guys, I mean you boys, girls, and non-binary traders. So let's take a look at the charts here. And Walmal's still a little bit under the weather. He sounds awful. He's got a cold or flu or something. Well, we're still up for the month, and we're still above the previous month's high there. You can see we're still floating around this 2200 level. We're at 2212 right now. And we are, let's see, on the daily, we're in that upper wick zone. We'll get there in a moment. All the gaps have filled, and you can see we came down and we got really close to that previous week's midpoint. And we are still within the opening range for the day and for the month. So we'll have to see what happens here. See what kind of movement we get. I must have taken the chart shift off here. Yeah, chart auto scroll needs to come back on. There we go. So we are 155 pips above the yearly midpoint. We're 1,852 pips above the yearly low, 1,538 below the yearly high, and 1,316 pips below the yearly open. Now, once again, Walmart likes to trade the pound, and we just focus on the pound. So it just shows you can trade one pair and make money. Now, the thing about what we're doing here, though, something to consider, is we're analyzing the pound many different ways, showing many different charts, many different methods, but maybe you rather trade dollar yen like what I used to do. But you can just pick one pair. It's not like the stock market where you have to look for the stock du jour. And even with stocks, you can trade one stock like Apple or Google over and over and over again and be successful. So especially for people just joining in, that's why we're just focused on this one pair at the time. Okay, we broke out of the inside bar from 3 days ago. You see that low, but now we're back in the inside bar, and we're also in the inside bar from 17 weeks ago. And there's some inside bar action here. $120 pips on the day, so nice daily range so far. We got a bunch of pairs over 100, with the pound Aussie leading the way with 155 pips. And the dollar yen I see is jumped off of that 134 level, even though it's down for the day at the moment. Buy zone, we came here, you can see the launch pad. The buy zone was in the launch pad, and I took a launch pad trade back here, and I went to bed and put my TP at 60, and actually I put it at 58 because I get about a 2 pip spread, and I had missed an exit. I had put it exit in at 50 and it hit something like 49.5 on my broker reversed. So when I saw that it was going down, so I punched out. I think I made a couple of pips off of that trade. And then what happened next was it continued to drop, so I jumped back in, put my TP at 60, went to bed, and I was looking for that because I figured it would hit that pivot, and we'll see that in a moment. Red rats, get ready here. If you haven't already jumped into trade, and we've got rat zone happening. And you can see we did take out that pivot at 75. Oh, that's the daily pivot. So I think I was pretty what's the word, cautious. That's why I put my stop loss in at 58, and not the 58 here, but 21.58, and it hit it. And I'm not beating myself up that I didn't put it in higher, because actually my real thought was I said this thing will probably hit 80, if not go to the 2200. I was kind of joking with Walmart. I said, yeah, I should have just left that trade alone, put the TP at 2200 and stayed in bed all morning. And you can see we took out the daily and we've taken out the weekly, but we still haven't taken out this monthly pivot here. And we've missed a few pivots for the month this year, March, April, and May so far, and add December to the list. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. We're in the upper wick zone of the previous day, and it's a huge wick here. Huge. Yeah, high minus close at the moment 67, but I mean, this is almost 100 pips. That's huge. Okay, we're coming in at double O. See if we're going to get some double O price action happening soon. You see, we came out of a flip-flop box just now. Higher low was almost at, just call it the double O. And you can see that's worth 20-some pips. Now, there was a return bar right here, and prices hit it, and you can see now it's reversing off of that level. We didn't quite make it to the ATR zone. In fact, I was talking with Walmart earlier, and I was saying how one of the problems that sometimes I have is I've got so many different methods in my head. I can do things that get me in trouble. You know, you take this trade, and then you take that trade, and so I said, you know, pretty much I know where price is in terms of where it is in a zone, a rat zone, a wick zone, a buy zone, etc. But I usually use something else to actually trigger the trade, and that seems to help a lot. One thing I have been really kind of trying to do religiously is not trade against the M30 candle color. I know it's like don't trade against H1, but because that the M30 candles like to cover, and what I mean by cover is you can see this candle covered, so it'd be nice if this one covered. I've got some shorts on. Anyway, that's about it for today, fellow traders. I hope I passed on something that you can use, but just remember about those routines. You've got to figure the routine out for yourself. You really do, because it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. And if you haven't hit subscribe, hit like, and hit the bell. This is TheRumpledOne, over and out.